So on Malicious Compliance on Reddit, OP says, the bank won't make change, so I close my entire account instead. So today on Decoy Noise, we got me, the Decoy, we got Greg via satellite. If you haven't already, subscribe down below, but we skip all the fluff talk and get right to the thread. So we're going to talk about this guy, that Malicious Compliance. Are you aware of what Malicious Compliance is on Reddit?
No, what is that?
Like, Malicious Compliance is like, oh, can you pump the gas for me? I'm making terrible examples. Like, can you pump the gas for me? It's like, sure I will. Then you go out there and pump the gas, but you only fill the tank up halfway. You're like, yeah, I did it. What are you talking about? You didn't tell me how much to do it. Like, maliciously complying with somebody's demands. Okay, so the first post right here is this guy says, this happened a few years ago. I was working at a large national chain restaurant as a manager. I was asked to temporarily reassign to a location in a city about an hour away and accepted. They put me up in a hotel with the whole 9 yards. The first weekend I was there, I discovered that the GM had screwed up and not ordered any change, small bills, rolls of coins for the safe, and that the local branch of our bank would be closing the next hour. I also happened to be having a personal account at the same bank and had in the past gone and gotten change from the branch back home. Since time was tight, I quickly looked up the address of the bank, grabbed $800 and jumped in my car. I get to the bank, wait in line, and then asked if I can make change for $400 and 5 bills, 301. Yeah, you get the picture.
Yeah.
The teller tells me the bank doesn't make change. Me thinking it was because they didn't know me, informed her that our restaurant had an account she could look up. She then told me, no, we don't make change at all. The thought going through my brain was, WTF, you're a bank. I tried explaining the situation, but she quickly shot me down. I left, went back to my car, then I had an idea. I went back inside the bank with my personal checkbook, got to the front of the line, and luckily got the same teller. Before she could even greet me, that's a typo. I held out my checkbook and told her, I'd like to close this account, since this bank is no longer customer service oriented. She kind of rolled her eyes and then went around my request. Then she asked how I wanted my cash back. An automatic response, I'm sure, and one I was counting on was, I said 405, 301, 70 in the roll of quarters, like the amount that he wanted, and then the rest can be on a cashier's check. No reason for her to deny it, so I got my change. And the following Monday I returned, closed out the other 2 accounts I had there, and opened up accounts at a different bank I had been banking at ever since. So, I mean, that's malicious compliance, but that's also like petty revenge, pro-revenge, or...
Yeah, but did he really... So I was hoping that the story would go that he managed to get the restaurant to close down the account or something. He closed his personal account. Like... whoop-de-doo, I guess. Like, good for you. You went from Wells Fargo to Chase. Like, congrats.
No, the only thing I would say with that is, like, the lady was like, I'm not giving you that change. He's like, no.
Yes.
You're giving me that change. One way or another,
he's getting that change. Yeah, he definitely won. I thought he was going to slam dunk. He got a layup. And kudos. A very crafty layup, but I was looking for that slam dunk.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is, I guess he got on this thread, he was able to win himself some Reddit Gold, 2 Reddit Silvers, and a Archive. I don't even know what that is. But whatever, I mean, I guess, I can't think of anything off the top of my head before we get into the comment section. Malicious compliance that I've received from anybody. Can you think of anything up that realm?
Well, sort of, but I didn't... I had a business trip where we went to Chicago, and I took my wife with me.
Yeah.
And when we got there, the company was supposed to pay for everything, right?
Yeah.
It's all on the company card and everything like that. So when I got there to check into the hotel, we got there super late at night. It's Chicago in the winter. It was like February in Chicago.
Oh, Jesus.
Literally like 15 degrees outside or something stupid. And from California, like, I was dying. I was like, we're dead. We're not going to make it. And whatever. So we get in there and we're like, thank God we made it, whatever. And the teller lady was like, yeah, we can't help you because you don't have the credit card that like made this thing.
Oh, Jesus.
This purchase.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's a business card, and it was all paid for. And we do this all the time for our company.
Yeah.
And I told them the company name and everything. I had it all set up. And she's like, no, we can't prove that you're who you say you are. And I was like,
I get it. I kind of get it, but yeah.
So they were gonna like legit like just have us like, they said we couldn't wait in the lobby, right? Like I said, it was like midnight. So, and I worked the next day. Like, it's just madness. I was like, and they were like, well, you can't wait in the lobby. So I was like, so you expect us to stay outside in Chicago when it's like 15 degrees outside? You know, it's crazy. Well, somehow, some way, one of the managers figured out about it because I was like raising hell, like, no, this is not about to happen, you know? And long story short, I guess we do have like a crazy like relationship with, or our company had a crazy relationship with that hotel.
Oh, geez.
And yeah, they can't treat people like that. So we got like, the room got comped, and we got like champagne and like strawberries and stuff brought to our room. Like this is random like perks like that. Yeah. And I don't know for sure if that person got fired, but I got a call from like our corporate like liaison saying like, you know, Mr. Hernandez, we're so sorry. Da, da, da. And they were just like, oh, it was crazy, like the apologies. And I was like, you know, you messed with me, you know. I thought he was gonna. I wish I had like receipts where she actually like legit got fired, but I don't know for sure.
I thought it was gonna be a thing, so I just waited in the hotel, saw what car she got into, followed her home, like, something terribly that inappropriate for a podcast for you to put there on paper.
Found out I get arrested a week later for just admitting to like this cold case they've been trying to crack. 6-year-old case. This is what brought me down.
It's like, I was like, yo, Greg, thanks for taking the thing. We got 12 new subscribers. I got so much publicity. That fake Mr. Beast account that keeps on liking me. Yeah. Okay, so top reply from Vladimir KG says, very clever and well-deserved. The reply was, a win for a human, but the next guy is still screwed. I commend you for some quick thinking. Yeah, it's yeah. The other guy says, always hopeless and lost, says, I switched my current bank 14 years ago when the old one refused to make change. A friend needed change and we went to my bank. The teller refused since he didn't have an account. I told her I had an account and she said it was his money, so no. I asked him to borrow money. He handed it to me and I said it was my money now, and she said no because I was just going to give it back to him. We needed change pretty urgently, and he said fine, I won't open an account, and she shot him down saying he would close it immediately, and she wasn't stupid, so I closed my account and we went to the bank in the next town, and we have been with them ever since. I mean,
okay,
it's one of those things where it's like her
the teller won in that case.
Yeah, the teller was just trying to inconvenience you, and the teller drastically inconvenienced you.
Yeah, that's a victory for the teller.
And the thing is, with the teller right there, it's if you need to go on a power trip that hard at your bank, like, I don't think the bank really cares if you make change, if someone borrowed you money, like, you can't get fired for that. But just the idea that their life is in such a flat spin of, like, lost control that they need to mess with some random kid trying to get change, like, no, I'm in charge here. Look at me. I'm in charge of my life right now. I'm in charge of your life right now.
I haven't worked at a bank, but I will say that there is possibly some controls on the amount of change that they do have. Yeah. So maybe they start limiting it towards the end of the day because like they're running out kind of thing, you know? Because I did have to take out a large lump sum of money at one point, and like they couldn't give me a cashier's check. I needed it in actual cash for whatever reason. And they were like, yeah, we don't have that many hundreds. And I'm like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they didn't have it. So
a weirdly known fact, you could fact check me on. Well, no, I've heard this before. Is you can't have more than $10,000 on you without having like some sort of reason. Like you're just not allowed to.
Well, I had less than that.
Oh, okay.
Slightly.
So it was just.
Oh wait, crap! I wonder if I remember the exact amount. Maybe it was more than that. Right
now, when you're discussing how much money you have on you, on the screen, I'm gonna flash like what your home address is and your phone number and your full name and everything. Just GPS information.
Yeah, to be fair, that was a few years ago, and that money is long gone.
Okay, so Mendo Kusai 99 says, one thing I'll say, Mendo Kusai 99, it might be like, oh, they like Wayne Gretzky, they like Jay Crowder, like that's the number, but I don't know how many young people you employ, but I employ young people. It's really weird when you hire somebody that was born in the year 2000. Oh my god, you feel super old, and it's like, oh no, you're 20 and you're born in the year 2000. You can almost drink. I am super freaking old right now.
It's mind-blowing, yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Next year, 2,000-year-old kids born in the 2000s will be drinking. 2,000-year-old.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Mendo says, I had a bit of the opposite problem. Went to the US and had to get about $1,600 US dollars, or $16 US dollars. Visited 3 different ATMs because of the limits, but ended up with a wad of 20s. At the last bank, I asked that they give me bills of 100 in exchange for it, and they refused. Had to get a manager involved and explain that I got all the money from their machine and how unsafe it was to walk around Chicago in my current state. Thankfully, he agreed. Yeah, that sounds like a drug dealer person where he's like, yeah, I got all these 20s. Can you change them to 100s or whatever?
Yeah. Or trying to clean money.
Yeah, that's a bizarre thing where they'll deposit money in one chain and go to the next chain to withdraw it. It's like, that's legitimately like money laundering or something. It's bizarre the way that goes down. So these stories about U.S. banking here are quite entertaining. Around here, when I'm closing a bank account, the question would be, and what's the account number where the remaining balance should be transferred to? And what if you don't want it to move to another account? What if it needs to go into your mattress? You don't know that. So Cheese and Onions says, very similar story. A guy goes into a bank and needs to talk to the bank manager for a specific transaction. The bank manager isn't there, so the guy asks the teller to validate his parking. The teller tells him that she cannot validate his parking because he didn't make a transaction. He goes to the bank across the street and open up an account. Then he goes back to the original bank and asks for his entire account of millions of dollars to be transferred into the new bank and to shut down his old account. After losing all that money, the teller validated his parking. That's malicious compliance right there.
Yeah. See, that's a win-win.
What is it, Michael Scott? We need win, win, and win. You win, I win. Well, no, he wins, she wins, I win. We make the t-shirt, or we make the painting into a t-shirt. One last one. Mr. Mandor says, almost all banks in Sweden. You know what? No, I'm not stroking your ego, Sweden. Not on this channel. It's gonna be a boring post. Okay, so Top Poet says we don't do change. BS. She probably just didn't want to do her job. That is true. Probably just like, I can't be bothered with the whole doing the stuff. Caleb Max says life hacking. I got an account. Blah blah. Okay, so we pretty much whittled this down. We got all the story out of that. I like the malicious compliance right there. I kind of want to do more of the smaller subreddits because there's some like hidden gems that not everybody gets to be exposed to. So, if you like that post and want to see more like that, make sure you subscribe down below. You check out the video over there. There's more podcast format of me and Greg via satellite, so check us out.